guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And May the 4th be with you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've got the BBC cashing in on a couple of things going on this week.
Yep.
May the 4th hashtag and the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
Also, it is trendy to throw Star Wars fans under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
The BBC has done this before. They had an article out a couple months ago that we took to task where they used Sonic the Hedgehog.
Because it was trending.
Because it was trending and because the fans actually won that one, they got them to change the design, and the BBC was salty about it. So what they did is they wrote this big, long article pretending to be about Sonic the Hedgehog, and they used it as an opportunity to trash Star Wars fans and trash Doctor Who fans.
Trash fandom in general.
Yeah, it's bullshit. But the thing is they probably got a lot of traffic off of it.
That's what the whole thing is, because they're desperate for hits. And, you know, they remind me of the rich entitled kids you see on Instagram and stuff that would sit there and be like, because their mommy and daddy have money and they can say and do whatever because mommy and daddy have, you know, are paying for it. Well, that's what the BBC is. Everybody else is paying for it, so I think they can say and do whatever they want.
And that's what they've been doing, and they've become increasingly antagonistic towards fans. And I have to wonder if Doctor Who isn't maybe a catalyst in that.
Well, maybe don't do shitty things.
Don't do shitty things. Don't do shitty things to beloved characters. Maybe you won't get backlash. So this article has been making the rounds the last couple days. I saw it on Twitter a couple days ago. We didn't cover it right away, but it is Sunday, so it's slow. So I thought, well, what the hell? Let's go for it. And tomorrow is May the 4th.
That's true.
And I'm sure they'll be retweeting the hell out of this.
Oh, I'm sure. They're just trying to cash in on it.
Yeah, because as Disney is trying to walk back the damage of the sequel trilogy by trying to cash in on The Empire Strikes Back, the BBC's out there like, Empire Strikes Back was a piece of shit.
At the heart of this article, they're just mad because they don't like Empire Strikes Back and they like The Last Jedi. That's what this whole thing's about.
Right. So basically his take on it, this writer's take on it, is that the original Star Wars was amazing and The Empire Strikes Back ruined it.
Well, that's a good, interesting take, because when you survey most Star Wars fans, Empire Strikes Back is most people's favorite.
It is. He said it's going to be a hot take and it's going to be controversial, i.e. it's going to get a lot of hits. That's
the only reason he's doing it. We'll save you the hit. We'll save you the clicks.
He talks about how amazing Star Wars was. It gets more amazing with each rewatch. And then along came The Empire Strikes Back, a gloomy film. Slower, stodgier, more contrived, convoluted, and repetitive. Again,
I never got that.
In 1980, several critics were underwhelmed. Bullshit. This is a bullshit. No. This is, and Rian Johnson keeps repeating this bullshit too, talking about how, like, well, you know, back when Empire came out, nobody liked it.
That's not true.
I was alive then. I remember everybody fucking loved it. Mm-hmm. They loved it. They couldn't wait to see what happened.
Most of them were mad that it was left on such a cliffhanger. That's what if I heard any complaints, it was that.
So yeah, this is not true. They keep repeating this. They're basically using the 40th anniversary of what is the most beloved entry in the Star Wars franchise for most people. Now, I know you like Jedi.
I like Jedi better. I know people are gonna be like, oh my god. That's true, I do. I like Ewoks. Sorry.
But they know it's going to be trending this week, and they're jumping on it, and they're being contrary just to drive traffic to this bullshit article.
Well, they're also, I think they're salty because it seems like they're mad that Rian Johnson didn't get the attention.
While he doesn't specifically name Rian Johnson,
that's what he's angling at.
That's where he's going with it, because there are some paragraphs here that's basically like, well, it completely undid everything that happened in Star Wars. Basically, he's saying they just took Star Wars and turned it inside out, subverted your expectations for The Empire Strikes Back, and it wasn't very good. It set a bad example. Here's where things get tricky. My grievance with The Empire Strikes Back isn't that it sticks to the winning formula established by Star Wars. That's what most sequels do. My grievance is that it also betrays Star Wars, trashing so much of the good work that was done 3 years earlier.
I'm not understanding how it's supposed to be Star Wars all over again.
I don't
get that either.
I never got that vibe.
I never did either.
My un-Jedi-like anger bubbles up even before the first scene at the beginning of the opening crawl of introductory text.
Wow, that's sad.
It's a dark time for the rebellion, says the prose, although the Death Star has been destroyed. Hang on a minute. Although the Death Star has been destroyed, although the sole aim of the heroes and heroines in Star Wars was to destroy the Death Star.
No, it wasn't. That Death Star was the main threat at the time. He was pissed because of the crawl. I'll tell you what, I don't like The Last Jedi, but the crawl wasn't. I made it past the crawl.
Yeah, right?
I mean, you have to try really hard to look for something to whine about.
The dead speak. Enough said.
Okay, yeah, there you go. That got people right there.
But basically, he's like, wait, they diminished the Death Star being destroyed. Remember that scene in Star Wars when an Imperial Admiral mocked Vader for his sad devotion to that ancient religion? Forget it, because in The Empire Strikes Back, we're told the Emperor himself is devoted to the same religion. And what about Obi-Wan Kenobi? Remember how he started training Luke to be a Jedi Knight? Partly because his previous pupil, Darth Vader, turned to the dark side. Narrative logic demands that the ghostly Obi-Wan should keep on training Luke. But now we've got Yoda. Yeah, but
Yoda's like the most beloved characters on Star Wars. I mean, why Empire Strikes Back was so popular was because it introduced so many new things that were exciting. That's where Disney, another reason Disney fails. Disney tries to bank on nostalgia and just keep showing you the same things you already know. Where with the original trilogy especially, they kept, even the prequels you could argue, they kept deliberately trying to push the envelope. And what kind of new vehicles can we get? What kind of new creatures can we have? What kind of new this and that's exciting visually? It'd be exciting to sell toys, all that kind of stuff. They would think about that. Like, to me, the most of the characters that are the iconic characters came from Empire Strikes Back.
Yep. So watching Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back one after the other is like watching a hijacking.
Oh my God.
You're seeing a juggernaut being held up and driven.
Much like reading this article, because then you're getting hijacked for the ad clicks.
Yeah, pretty much. You're seeing a juggernaut being held up and driven in another direction. You can sense that Lucas and his team aren't focusing on the current film anymore. They're setting up the third part in what would now be a trilogy, and they're no longer interested in the wars and the stars.
Hey, but at least they planned it. That's going to be more than what can be said for the Disney ones.
That is true, yeah. None of it matters.
Blah, blah, blah.
I am your father. He has a problem with that.
He has a problem with everything.
Yeah, if The Empire Strikes Back had been a one-off, it could have been forgiven by now. But what about all the many films that have used it as a model? All the films that have tarnished Star Wars by contradicting its mythos and obsessing over family trees.
What mythos? It was one film. The mythos was established by all the other films together with it. And, as far as I'm concerned, all the books in the expanded universe. That was the mythos. You can't have a mythos off of just that one thing.
Okay, there's such a thing as subtweeting, where you're clearly talking about something.
Yeah, he's clearly talking about The Last Jedi.
He's sub-writing, he's sub-blogging. He is clearly defending The Last Jedi, but he's not coming out and saying it, because all of his arguments are basically arguments that people who didn't like The Last Jedi had.
Right. But I want to point out something. The Last Jedi, because they keep saying about, people keep saying that no one liked Empire Strikes Back. And The Last Jedi was like that, where no one liked Empire Strikes Back. Well, here's an interesting thing here, guys. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes, Empire Strikes Back has a 94% critic score, 97% audience score for Star Wars. If you go out to The Last Jedi, it got a 91% critic score and a 43% audience score. I can clearly see that nobody liked this. We have this poster in metal form, which I might want to get out and put up in honor of tomorrow.
We should.
I should take a picture and put it up on Instagram too. Anyway, because we bought the stuff back when we were selling, collecting, and all that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Because we were there.
We actually had the theatrical posters. We had so what did we have? I think
we still have some of those.
I think we did. I know we had all special editions. We had the movie posters, the actual movie posters.
Did we get rid of them, or did we keep them? I don't even know. We moved. We had to get rid of some stuff. So I'm trying to remember.
Anyway, yeah, clearly nobody liked this movie, but so he's just talking about how throws shade at the Rise of Skywalker. Rey becomes Palpatine's granddaughter or something. So his whole thing is
something that was oddly specific. Like that character was wearing a period outfit clear down to its wingtip shoes. I mean, or something. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like, really?
So now he is also blaming all the failures of all the other Star Wars movies that have come after on The Empire Strikes Back. I accept the writers and directors of those films were only following The Empire Strikes Back's bad example.
If it was the anniversary of Jedi, they'd be blaming Jedi. If it was the anniversary of Star Wars, the original film, they'd be somehow blaming everything on the original film. You know what I mean? That's what's trending right now.
Think of all those superhero blockbusters that waste time teeing up for the next installment in the series. I'm sorry, but The Empire Strikes Back has to take the blame for all of them.
You can't blame that on...
So his whole point here is that because now we've got movie franchises are planned as a franchise and they have cliffhanger endings, and we don't know if there's going to be another movie or not, but they're already planning this next installment. that we're going to blame The Empire Strikes Back.
But here's the thing. This has been the outlook and the way the movies have been going for decades now.
Because of The Empire Strikes Back.
But everybody's used to it.
Yeah.
So this is actually a moot argument at this point.
This is really dumb. And actually, the cliffhanger ending, that was because George Lucas grew up watching, like Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers and listening to radio dramas where it was always like, tune in next week. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why he did. Plus, Star Wars made so much money, they knew they were going to do another movie. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't, I don't know. This is just an attempt to
cash in on May the 4th, The Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary, and tell you all that he's superior than you in every way.
Absolutely. And the BBC, we know I believe...
That article is the same thing. I'm superior to you in every way.
Yeah, I think the BBC is going hard on being anti-fan.
Well, maybe they should stop giving BBC money.
Yeah, there you go.
Because if no one gave them money, they wouldn't be able to do a lot of stuff that they're doing. They wouldn't be able to change things they're changing and holding the high horse because they wouldn't have the money to do so.
It's like the UK government is forcing people to pay the BBC to spit in your face.
Yeah.
Like, stop it. Just stop. Tune them out. Turn them off.
Yeah, they're just convinced they can say and do whatever and they can continue because we're the BBC, we're better than you.
Clickbait article. We took the bait. It is Sunday. It's
no, we took the bait so you don't have to.
We took the bait so you don't have to. There we go.
Clickbait on ours instead, and we'll get the money instead.
There you go. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey, guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.